Hey folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing channel. I hope everyone's having a good day. Now, as many of you know, I'm very fond of looking at the careers of fighters from yesteryear. I do not call myself a boxing historian. I don't feel I have sufficient knowledge to self-describe myself in that way. However, I am a fan who has got a great appreciation of boxers, both from when I was a young man, a child, and before I was born. And I've done a few videos, as some of you will probably know, where I've talked about the careers of many of the famous fighters of the past, from Jack Johnson through to Rocky Marciano, Joe Louis, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, etc. And I've also done videos where I've talked about my top 10 heavyweights my lifetime, so the past 65 years. I've also done videos about the top 10 heavyweights of all time for all time. And I've done the same for the light heavyweight division, the middleweight division, and the welterweight division. And eventually I'll have all 8 divisions, the original 8 if you like, covered. And then, God willing, I'll start looking at some of the other divisions. What I haven't done is I haven't done a global look at the greatest of all time, cross-divisional stuff. But I'm really pleased to be able to report that I have in my possession a book written by Dan Morley called The Immortals of the Ring. Now, Dan Morley is a professional boxer. He's boxed from 2018 to 2024. He has a record of 9-0. And he has a YouTube channel called Dan Morley Boxing. He's also on Facebook. So if you type in Dan Morley Boxing, you will find him on Facebook. The book cover is there. It's an e-book only. It's 72 pages long. And what Dan has done is he's taken a professional boxer's analysis of boxing's 9 unrivaled legends. He's got an introduction where he talks about the mythical claim of the greatest of all time, that being an argument that will divide opinions. And he's looked at each of these fighters across various eras and talked about how there were different weight categories. Boxers used to box for different rounds, like 15 versus 12. And some cases, of course, way back in the past, they boxed for 20, 30, 50, 70 something rounds. Different training, how, for example, the color bar may have influenced where a person's career went. As we know, between the era of Jack Johnson and Joe Louis, the heavyweight champions of the world refused to give African Americans a shot at the title. So how many great fighters never became heavyweight champion? It's a question that will remain unanswered. The book, like I say, is an e-book. It's 72 pages long. It's a really good read. And the fighters that Dan Morley covers are my own personal favorite: Sugar Ray Robinson, Harry Greb, Hank Armstrong, Sam Langford from Nova Scotia. As you know, I've done videos on Sugar Ray, Greb, Langford, Muhammad Ali, Ezra Charles. I've done a video on Ezra Charles as well. Roberto Duran, the great Willie Pep, and the finest of the heavyweights, in my view, Joe Louis, who I've also done a review of, and he was the winner of my all-time heavyweights. Now, Dan Morley can be contacted at Dan Morley Boxing. I strongly recommend you pick up a copy of this ebook. It's certainly going to be part of my reference library, together with some of the other books that I just keep close to hand. I always keep, for example, Once There Were Giants on hand. You never know. I'm old-fashioned. I find it easier sometimes to flip through a book than it is to go onto the internet. Well, this book is an e-book, so it's there on your tablet. Like I say, it's a great read. Strongly recommend it. And I also recommend that you check out Dan Morley's channel. He He gets access to famous people, Teddy Atlas, etc. Obviously, he's been a boxer himself, so he has that access. He's got a really good channel. That's it from me. If you like this video, please like. If you like this channel, please subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to grow the channel, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers.